beyond the box, reclaiming our wholeness in a divided world. The illusion of labels, tribalism, and the eternal journey of the soul. We live in a culture obsessed with tags and labels. From the moment we introduce ourselves, we are conditioned to offer a quick, digestible summary of our function, our job title, our political affiliation, our social standing. We slide ourselves neatly into pre-constructed boxes, and in doing so, we unwittingly hand over the keys to our own freedom. When we constantly identify as a Democrat, a Republican, a doctor, a firefighter, or any other singular role, we contract. We trade the infinite expanse of human consciousness for a rigid, easily managed perimeter. And worse, we create an immediate us versus them reality. The goal ceases to be about how we can work together to make this world a better place. Instead, it devolves into a constant battle of who is wrong and who is right. The moment we adopt a label as our primary identity, we begin to police ourselves. We dismiss the parts of our own nature that do not fit neatly inside that party line or lifestyle, hiding our true complexity under the rug. We end up living someone else's idea of how our life should be, rather than anchoring into our own sovereignty, the trap of judgment. This compartmentalization does not just hurt how we view ourselves, it warps how we view everyone else. How often do we look at a stranger's life choices and ask, why would they do that? Why are they in that position? We judge career paths, lifestyle choices, and personal decisions from our own narrow vantage point. We fail to understand that someone might love a career because it brings them deep personal fulfillment and helps people, even if it doesn't bring in wealth. When we lock ourselves inside our own narrow viewpoints, we lose empathy. We forget that every single one of us is looking at the world through a unique lens, and because we are constantly told who we are supposed to be by an external society, so much so that these limitations have become so deeply ingrained that they almost feel woven into our conditioning, even into what some researchers are beginning to explore as epigenetic influences. We forget the true magnitude of what we carry. The classroom of lifetimes. To break free from this cycle, we have to pull back the lens. Think of humanity as a vast classroom of students. Imagine how absurd it would be to judge an entire classroom of college students by the actions, mistakes, or words of a single student in a single moment. Yet, that is precisely what we do to ourselves and to each other. We take one fleeting snippet of a single lifetime, couple it with a mistake or an awkward season of growth, and try to define a soul by it. When we judge others, or worse, when we shame ourselves for past mistakes, we are forgetting the bigger picture. We have all made mistakes. We have all stumbled. But those missteps are how we grow, learn, and carry wisdom forward across our soul's journey. If you have ever made a mistake in this lifetime and felt the crushing weight of peer or family-shamed judgment, you know how heavy that darkness feels. But as long as we learn from those moments and allow them to propel us forward, they do not define us. Everyone around us is walking that exact same path of learning, just on a different road. We have lived countless lives across eons, experiencing a multitude of different perspectives. When we realize that the totality of who we are is the sum of every experience across every lifetime, rather than a single political badge or a momentary failure, the need to defend a rigid image simply melts away. Stepping into sovereignty. It is time to step back and become a sovereign observer. Do not let the noise of this world or the expectations of others dictate who you truly are. When you catch yourself standing in judgment of another person's choices, or when you feel the urge to retreat into a safe, tribal box just to feel like you belong, pause. Recognize that you are more than a label. You are more than a career. You are more than a political party or a single mistake in a single year. Stop doubting what you are capable of because a label tells you to stay small. Stop performing for the labels you've inherited, step out of the box, and allow yourself to remember the magnificent, whole truth of who you are. A moment for reflection. Take a quiet moment to look inward. Are there moments in your own life that you can recall where you felt the heavy sting of shame, or where you caught yourself harshly judging someone else for their mistakes? Remembering our shared humanity reminds us that we are all simply learning as we go. Before accepting or rejecting anything you've just read, pause for a moment. Set aside what you've been taught, what others expect you to believe, and even what I have written here. Look honestly at your own life. What has your own experience revealed? That answer matters far more than any label or any author can provide. If you would like to dive deeper into these truths and explore more about the vast journey of consciousness, pick up a copy of The Arc of Truth, Sabaoth, Jesulia, the 13th Prime Aeon. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe.